my strange addiction, and his addiction was like sex dolls, like the super advanced ones
Okay,
though,
yeah.
like that are like thousands of dollars. And this poor man, I felt bad for him, but I think he had a like good 5 or 6 of them, maybe more.
That's wild.
But he would like dress him in different clothes and like sit down and have dinner with him and stuff. And
I guess that qualifies as an addiction.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, "Oh yeah, see, I've never really been in a relationship with an organic woman." It's like an organic woman? You
He-
mean a woman? Like I've never had.
so
I only do artificial women. I'm sorry, don't.
I know a person who has one, not a whole doll,
Yeah,
but yeah, I know somebody.
like a whole doll. What do you mean, like a
I'm not
flashlight?
no more than that, but not a whole doll.
More
Like,
than
think of them. Think of
so
the
it's like
middle.
a butt and stuff.
Yeah. Like,
Oh
yeah.
gosh, man.
At least I think that's it. I know they
You
have.
know
I know
what?
it's the person that told me, but I will not. That is something I will not air out. But yeah, I know somebody that.
Yeah, you shouldn't. But you know what, man? I was just thinking. Like, first I was appalled, and I'm like, well, why not? You know, why
Yeah,
shouldn't a
yeah, do
dude
you?
have a sex toy? You know, what's wrong with that? Like, it's perfectly acceptable for women to do it. I try not to kink shame as
No,
long as ain't nobody, ain't nobody getting hurt. Everybody's
yeah,
consensual, and
consensual.
you
No,
know, I ain't kink
bro,
shaming.
I
So,
share the same sentiment.
so
I saw a funny meme one time that it was something about basically girls being like, oh, like guys are so weird, with like whatever, like when they finish and whatever, and they have to get off.
yeah.
And it's like really, like, and then it was a list of just dildos that were like gyrating
Oh
heads and
my
like little
god.
suction tops. It's like really, we're weird. Like, come on.
Oh my gosh. Peace and blessings, kings and queens. My name is Jaquan Davis,
And I am Nicholas Fletcher.
and welcome to another episode of. I don't know why you keep threatening to leave. Get your ass on out. So, this is the Young Old Heads podcast, the hip hop centric podcast where we talk about a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing. Mr. Nicholas Fletcher, how are you today, sir?
I'm a little bit of. We were talking about this before the
Yes.
cast. A little bit of low energy today.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I feel that.
kind of low energy. Just one of those days, man. Like
Yeah.
being a dad and just everything. So yeah,
Yeah, got a lot on your plate right now, do ya?
yeah.
Just skip town, man.
I'll tell you right
Forget
now.
your responsibilities.
One thing I want to say is, so as a parent, we always hear about the terrible twos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree.
Disagree.
Three, bro. Three is way worse
Really?
by a large margin.
See, I was pretty fortunate that my son wasn't too bad.
Really?
So, yeah.
See, yeah. Well, both Hannah and Atlas, because Atlas is 3 now, Hannah's 6. Well, she's about to be 6, but 3 because it's that time where they're starting to get enough like know-how and communicative skills that they can be real ignorant and just defiant and like verbalize it pretty well. Yeah,
Yeah. That's crazy.
Atlas is in this phase where he'll cry about you giving him what he wants. Does that make sense?
What?
Yeah, so he'll
Kids are weird,
Yeah, no,
man.
so he'll cry, so he'll be like, I want a juice. So you'll like pour the juice in the thing and put the lid on and you'll hand it to him and then he'll cry because you put the lid on. So he's like, I don't want the juice now. So you're like, fine, no juice. Grab the juice and he'll start screaming he wants the juice. So I'll take the lid off and like, you put it on and then it's like, no, I want my juice. And it's just the most
Yeah.
perplexing scenario. And I get it. He's 3, but it's just
Yeah, like they were upset about the colors of the plates. They
yeah,
had.
literally. Yeah, they were just mad because
Gosh, man, kids. It's just these little meaningless things. I don't know if I ever freaked
that
out about
sounded
stuff
awful.
like
By the way, you went, oh man, kids, these little meaningless.
No, I don't mean the children are meaningless. I mean, I was trying to say these meaningless things like
Yeah,
bother
that they
them
get
and they
worked
get
up
upset
about.
about. But
Oh,
wow,
kids.
that definitely sounds like. God, I didn't even pick up on that, man.
boy. Yeah.
Well, okay, so my week. Jay, how was your week? Oh, sure. Let me get into it.
First, you didn't ask how my week was. You asked how my day was.
Oh, how was your week then?
The week was good.
The week was good. Okay,
How was
today
your
just
week, Jay?
sucks.
Yeah, today sucked. But
My week was It was okay. I spent most of it up in Bill. Got a little
I thought
anecdote.
you and Bill broke up.
Oh my gosh, we're not doing that. Bill, Wyoming. This dude is wow. Grow up, man. So I spent a week in Bill, Wyoming, working up there, and actually, I've got a little anecdote that I'm gonna share on another segment on the podcast today. But so it wasn't too bad. I was up there with my boss and another one of my coworkers, and the days were kind of long, and just nights we were just hanging out in the hotel, go out to dinner. So it wasn't really nothing crazy, but kind of a nice change from the norm, I guess. So it was pretty chill, and then I got to spend time with my son this weekend, and have had a good talk with him. So
What did
it was
Atlas
cool.
call him when you showed up today?
Oh yeah, I showed up, and Atlas loves my son, and vice versa. And he's like, "Oh, where's my guy?"
Yeah, you get out of the car. He's like, "Where's my guy? That's my guy right there."
It was hilarious. So,
Freaking cute.
so that was great. But yeah. Uh, so what do we have on the docket on this
So-
gloomy day? I think that might have something to
it
do
is.
with the
It's
low
gloomy
energy
weather,
too.
and yeah. So
Gloomy, like lazy type weather.
So,
So
the first thing we're going to discuss today is we're going to talk about DJ Khaled just dropped an entire album. There is a Nas and Jay-Z feature on it, and we've listened to it twice now,
Yes,
and we're
yes.
just going to kind of dissect it and give our input. So I'll first hand it off to you.
okay,
What are your
so
thoughts? Second listen through. What are your thoughts?
okay, second listen through. I think it's great, man. I love the people. Okay, so one thing that I hate, man, is so the album was released Friday going or no Thursday going into Friday at midnight, and I seen a lot of people online reviewing it, and I'm like, man, I don't, they're nitpicking little stuff. Oh, the beat's whack. Oh, this, that, and the third. Oh, they phoned it in. Listening to it, so I try to keep all that out in my head and listen to it. I like the meat, the meat. I like the beat. Gosh, man, I'm just homoerotic
yeah.
language today. I'm tired. Give me a break. So I like the beat. What I was thinking beat and mellow, so it came out meat. But
like
it's a nice smooth beat. I think me and you were saying kind of the type of track you might just ride around and listen
Yeah,
to on a
like a
summer night.
summer
when
season
you
kinda
just
track.
you just want a calm type.
Yeah.
It ain't no club banger or nothing like that. But I thought it was dope. I thought they both had great verses. And absolutely something that's going to be in rotation for me, but I feel like it'll be on a special playlist with
Yeah.
with songs with
Yeah,
a
with
similar
similar
vibe.
Yeah, because that couldn't be like a gym.
No,
playlist.
absolutely not. No. And so I haven't listened to the whole album all the way through, but I've seen some mixed reviews on it. But I think I'm gonna check out the whole album. But cause I don't know, man. Like years ago, hadn't been too invested in Khaled's albums anymore. Like it's kind of dope how he does, pretty much compilations and whatever, because that's kind of not something you see much anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of lost interest with all his stuff. But yeah, this was not to mention, man. Not only is it's a well done track. I think we both said the hook is kind of weak.
I don't like the hook. That if anything's phoned in, it's the hook. To me.
Yeah, the hook
and
is
I also
very
over auto tuned. Like there's auto tune, and then there's just like auto tune, and they really auto tune that hook to me.
Yeah, and I think we just gave it a second listen through, and we both picked up on a few things that I don't think we caught before. But yeah, it's dope. And then think about the fact that Khaled got these two juggernauts to collaborate on this track. And I mean, obviously they have history, Jay-Z and Nas do, but they've been working together for a long time now.
They squashed that a long time ago.
Yeah, so, but that's a big deal to be able to have a track with just them two and whoever the hell was on the hook. I don't even know, but that was probably a big deal for him too, whoever he is. But yeah, I think it's dope. I like it.
Yeah. So after the second listen through, I said the first time I thought Nas had the best verse, and I still feel that way.
Really?
I just like Nas's verse more. And again, like Jay-Z's verse isn't bad by any margin. He's no slouch. It's dope, in fact.
Yeah.
I just think I have to give Nas that slight edge on the verse.
Yeah, I like Nas's verse. He actually came in with kind of an offbeat flow, but I still think it was dope and the stuff he was saying. I guess people were clowning him online for the what did he say? Scarface or cryptocurrency?
Yeah, the Scarface.
People were clowning him for that line. And I'm like, I don't see why
just
that's a problem, but. And then Jay-Z, I think he just came in effortlessly with the laid back flow. And I appreciated them both, but I feel like something about Jay-Z's delivery I liked a little more. Even though Nas's was dope, but I just Jay-Z, it's Jay-Z
Yeah, I
for
think
me
we're
on the
probably in
track.
the exact same position, where it's
Yeah.
like the other artist just has that little tiny edge
Yeah,
on the other one. So,
exactly. It's yeah, very small edge, but I would absolutely say Hove for me.
one thing I do want to say is, what does DJ Khaled do legitimately from
Bro,
aside from just
you
shouting his name? Because I started trying to listen to the album,
yeah.
and there is no deviation from what he does every track. Every track,
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, we the best. Every song, and it honestly is redundant and annoying to
It's
me.
very
Then I'm like, bro, like
That's
go ahead,
kinda-
make your compilations. But from what I know, he doesn't even make the beats. Does
No,
he?
no.
Like what does
Your
what does
guess
he
is
do?
your guess is as good as mine, man.
What
Because
does
that's
he
what I
do?
was convinced for a long time. Like that's what it is. Was he was making beats and
No,
then
he's-
arranging these artists together. Which I will say, he has had some great combinations of different artists come together under his umbrella. But I don't know,
Yeah, I
man.
have no idea.
I don't know. Honestly, I do not know. I mean. You know, most DJs, DJ Clue, DJ Premier, a lot of these other guys, Just Blaze started off as a DJ. Like they produce
Yeah,
beats. Like
they make their beats.
they
Like
absolutely.
Prime, like Royce and Premier.
Yeah.
That like Prime made all the instrumentals for it. Royce raps on them. Like DJ
Exactly.
Khaled just shouts.
I don't
names.
know what he does, man. Like I'm gonna have to look through some credits and see if he gets
Yeah, I'm really
any
curious. Yeah.
like what he does. I mean, but it could be a thing where he's an executive producer like Diddy.
Yeah,
Like
where
Diddy wasn't on the boards and stuff, but he always had a vision of how he wanted
Yeah,
something
and
to
that
sound.
could be true to where he just
So,
has that.
It could be something
Yeah,
like that.
but
and-
for the longest time, I assumed it was that he was the producer, and then I found out a little while like that he wasn't, and I was just perplexed. I'm like, this millionaire, this
Yeah.
dude, and all he's doing, and not only that, but he's kind of a cornball.
Yeah,
When
I
you-
agree.
When you listen to his interviews and
Yeah.
stuff, like he seems like a fun dude to chill with, and he seems like he might have a big heart, but he's just
Yeah.
a goober.
Yeah, he's one thing that I thought was weird. He said so. He's been with his wife for a long time. He said he don't go downtown, bro.
That is
And,
weird.
like he absolutely won't. Like no, I ain't doing that. I'm like, what, bro?
Yeah, that's
What?
strange. And your wife?
What's
Yeah.
your wife of all
Yeah.
people?
That's
You
strange.
may go, nah, I don't do that.
Yeah, but.
That's crazy to me.
I do think that I think he used to be part of Terror Squad though. Way
Yeah,
back
he
then.
was when he started. I think his first 3 or 4 projects came out under Terror Squad. That's why you've seen Fat Joe with him so much. But
Okay,
and
that's
he'd always have on the Terror Squad chain.
I
too.
think he looks way different back then because I think I saw a picture of like Fat Joe Pun and Khaled back in the day.
Oh,
and
Slim Khaled.
Yeah, and he was like like tiny dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So was
there's-
Pun though at one point.
Yeah, Pun was pretty svelte.
Yeah.
I think I said it svelte. I don't know if you gotta pronounce the V like that, but but no, yeah, he absolutely was, and he's in a movie from 2002 called Shatters, and part of it takes place in Miami. He's in the background in there, and he's pretty slim in that one too.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess consensus is I say overall good track.
Great
It's a
track,
good
yeah.
I
I dig
I
it.
really enjoyed the track. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to show me. I mean, of course, I do have albums I consider classic, and you could
Yeah.
like show me multiple songs. But in today's era, there's always going to be like a song that I think is fire, but there's going to be something I might not like particularly like about it, or kind of curious to why they did it a certain way. Like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought it was dope. I don't know what people were expecting. If they were expecting like some hard hitting club banger type joint, or like what they were. I don't know, expecting. But I think it's.
I feel like we've talked about it so many times, but it's just the new era we live in with
Yeah.
social media. People.
This might be popular. Let me shit on it first.
Well, and it's also like nobody gives like a benefit of the doubt. Like everything is just hypercritical. There's no people go in almost wanting to not like something.
Yeah.
Like you go in like instead of just listening and just being like, yo, like, I vibe to this. This is cool. You jump in wanting to critique it.
Yeah.
We watched it happen with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before the movie came out. I'm excited for Resident Evil 8. In a Resident Evil group I'm on Facebook, this dude commented he played the demo. I'm gonna tell you something hilarious. This is something that happened, okay? So I played the demo last night, thought it was great, looked beautiful, really fun, finished the demo, completed it. Well, this dude comments and makes a post, and he's like, man, The new Resident Evil game, the demo froze last night. Capcom, can't you learn anything? This new game sucks. So people are commenting, being like,
Wow.
first off, bro, if the demo didn't work for you, like, how are you gonna like rope the whole game
Yeah,
into it?
like you had the demo.
Well, here's the hilarity of it. So somebody commented and they were like, well, how did the demo not work? And he goes, I got to the part where you find this truck key. You have to find a truck key. He goes, and my game froze. And so everybody started like laugh reacting because here's what happened. I thought the same thing happened to me. I find this truck key and I start looking at it. I'm like, cool, I found this truck key. I need to go start the truck. Wouldn't let me pick it up, wouldn't let me back out. I'm like, what the hell? So you can like move the item and look around at it. Well, I moved it and looked around at it. And on the back of the truck key was a little button you pressed and there was a little screwdriver in it that you needed. And then it gave it to you. So this dude was like, fuck this demo.
So
and
basically,
he was stuck on that part.
to help because he got confused.
Yes,
and didn't know what was
and was
happening.
like, this game's trash.
Wow, what a
Couldn't
clown,
find the
bro.
screwdriver.
What the
Yeah, I
fuck?
commented and I told him, and I was like, "Bro, you're literally mad over nothing."
You just don't understand, buddy.
Yeah,
You got confused. I actually today, this channel I followed for on YouTube for a few years, was talking about the Mortal Kombat movie and like said it was garbage, like a bad movie, like terrible, like.
Which I just don't. Yeah, I don't get.
I started to watch it and I'm like, oh, he's like, oh yeah, I gave it a chance. I was excited about the trailer, but it's garbage and this is bad and that's bad. I'm like, man, you sound like the type that's like impossible to please.
Yes,
like just,
100%.
and I honestly just got out of that and stopped watching it. But I'm just like, man, like it's one thing if you didn't like it, but he's saying it.
Just
like,
say it's garbage.
yeah,
and
it's
terrible.
not a bad Mortal Kombat movie. It's just a bad movie, is what he said. And I'm just like, man, yeah, nah, I don't. I understand, like to say that, especially in comparison to the old movies.
It's
Like, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, of course,
no, I agree.
but it's just like why you got to shit on it like that.
And I
don't-
get there's awful movies out there, and I mean I'm guilty of it with the Resident Evil movie franchise. But I also think that's very very different.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Mortal Kombat, for us following the lore, they did a good job with the characters.
I
Like,
thought it was well done. There was a few parts that were, meh, but overall it was great, man, and it was very well done, I think. And the sequel will only be better. But I don't know, it just bugs me a little bit when people are like, "Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen." It's like you can't just say you didn't like it, like, or no, they'll say something like the worst movie ever, or it's just a bad movie, or whatever. It's like you can't just say you didn't care for it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like they hold the bar and like, oh, sorry guys, I'm the metric.
of all the movies ever made, this one is one of the worst. It's like, you mean you don't like it, sir? Gosh.
It's another thing when you go back and watch like old movies. We'll even give the old Mortal Kombat for example. It's funny how much we take for granted because visually, what a beautiful movie.
Yes.
Like it's almost like we forget how astonishing like technology is.
Yeah.
Because the old Mortal Kombat's like the old Reptile in Annihilation, for instance, just terrible,
Bad.
terrible,
Real
terrible, and just bad. And now like we had Sub-Zero backflipping and making a copy of himself out of ice, and like that's astonishing. And they're like, dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you know how hard,
Exactly.
like, you know, like,
Or like the part where Jax had the machine gun and he shot and
oh yeah, and
Sub-Zero
Sub-Zero
froze it.
froze the bullets
that
and like
was so-
slowly watched the bullet, and it's like, bro, that's like literally
Fire.
phenomenal.
And you look at the old ones. I can't remember if it was one or two. I want to say it was Annihilation, but I remember Scorpion did the get over here thing with the spear,
Yeah.
but like some weird CGI.
Oh yeah, and
thing.
it's like a bird almost. It
Yeah,
like,
it, like,
scream,
comes
it like
out.
screeches and then
Yeah,
like
that
goes at
comes
Johnny
out-
Cage.
Like that was awful. Like I remember even seeing that back in the day and being like, "What?
Wait a
Right?
minute.
Y'all for real?"
Yeah.
Okay, we went off the rails.
Yeah,
with
we
that.
did. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the next topic, which
Also, before we do that,
oh yes, yeah.
if you guys have checked out the Jay-Z and Nas song, the DJ Khaled featuring Jay-Z and Nas, jump in the comments section and let us know what you thought about it. I'm curious to see if we were on the same wavelength, or if you guys are like, yeah, it was underwhelming, like a lot of the internet seems to feel.
And if you haven't heard it, super easy to find. It's called
Sorry Not Sorry.
Sorry Not Sorry. So,
Yeah.
So check it out and then dip in them comments.
In the comments.
All right, I'll let you take lead on the next one.
Okay, so The next topic we're going to get into today is why do people overshare?
Yes, it's a great question.
People overshare, and you know what sparked what influenced me to want to talk about this today, Nicholas?
Do tell.
So I'll give you a little anecdote, something that happened while I was up in Bill, Bill, Wyoming. When I was up in Bill, Wyoming, working.
It's mainly because I'm like a 10-year-old with my sense of humor.
Exactly. This guy's like 10, 7. So there was a gentleman I was working with named Chip. We'll call him Chip.
Make sure you.
If I remember to keep calling him Chip.
Okay.
So Chip is different, younger dude, younger than everybody else there. Kind of a little strange, but I thought maybe he's just soft spoken, but like a good worker. So Chip, the last day we were up there, I was working with him like for half of my third day and all of my fourth day up there, and like it was really warm while we were up there for the most part, and so Chip, he's got on bibs like overalls, and it's like 50 degrees, sun's out. It's like warm to the point that I actually took off one of my layers. Like it was pretty warm in the shop. So one of the other guys was like, "Hey Chip, you gonna go put your bibs on or something?" About because he didn't have them on initially, but then the guy said that and he ended up putting them on. And I'm like, "That's weird, whatever." So we're working and it's starting to get warm. It's like probably almost 60 by this point. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go take these bibs off." I'm like, "Whatever, man. It's your prerogative. Why are you telling me?" And he's like, "Yeah, the reason I wear these completely unprovoked, by the way, because I just didn't care.
Yeah,
like I'm like,
cool,
let's
take 'em
get
off,
this
yeah.
work done, bro. I don't care about your life." No, I wouldn't say that. But so Chip's like, "Yeah, the reason I wear these is because my right testicle has a bunch of fluid buildup around it. And when it gets cold, like it aches really bad. Like, cause you know how your testicles when you get cold they kind
Yeah.
of make
Yeah.
themselves
Okay. Yeah. They
closer
want
to your
They
body.
want to ascend. Yeah.
So he's like, when that happens, it hurts really bad. And I'm like, whoa, man.
Just dropping something.
You're comfortable with this? I don't know you. You don't even know my last name, bro. So, so I'm like, oh, what happened? Like, are you good? Like, that sounds like it might be life threatening or something, He's like, oh yeah. A couple years ago, I was messing around with this girl in the hot tub, or he called her a bitch. I was messing around with this bitch in the hot tub, and she kicked me in the nuts and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, what were you doing for her to do that?
Yeah, that sounds a little strange.
He said something about trying to pull her out the hot tub. I don't know. He didn't want to give too many details. I'm like, kind of sounds like you might have deserved it.
A little sus.
Yeah, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm not calling her a bitch for doing that. I'm calling her a bitch because of some other shit that happened. Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, this is weird, man. He's like, yeah, and it sucks. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, so like you can't do something about that. There's got to be something you can do about that. He's like, oh yeah, the doctor said he could make a 1-inch incision and drain the fluid out, but I'm not doing that. I was like, wow, man.
It's strange to me because the alternative is just to have a swollen nut forever.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. Yeah, he said it was like the size of a grapefruit.
That's.
And I'm like, I really hope it was.
Yeah, I hope that's a big exaggeration.
I absolutely hope it was hyperbole because a grapefruit, bro. Like sitting right now, just sitting here with one grapefruit nut. Like it would be very uncomfortable, man. Like just, oh gosh, you couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, literally,
you can't wear everything's got to be baggy, like
big old jeans.
Yeah.
And plus, just discomfort all the time.
Exactly.
And what's strange again is if the solution is a simple incision.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's strange. Like that's weird.
Yeah, I think I would just have it drained.
Oh, for certainly.
Yeah, because the alternative, you got this, and just like walking up steps and stuff. Bro.
Even let's extend beyond that. When he meets girls in the future, he's got to tell them this now.
Yeah,
he's got to tell them this, or not tell them, and just be like, let's hope this goes well.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sure if you just surprise a girl with that, I'm guaranteed she's gonna be, what the fuck? Are you okay? Oh my god, are you okay? And then it's like, in the heat of the moment, You guys got some foreplay going, and you're rolling around in the bed and stuff, and she like just hits it just right.
Man,
Ouch!
that's
Like
awful.
just she just moves and throws her leg on you and
Or you're
hits the
in the middle of the
grapefruit.
night. And
Yeah. Ugh.
fall
Gosh,
asleep.
man.
Ugh.
So yeah, but I don't know why people overshare it, man. I don't understand, especially me being somewhat of a private person, which is weird to me doing a podcast because I'm private. But yeah, I'm a complex individual.
Very shy and coy guy.
I'm a walking contradiction. It's fine.
Bro, same. Same.
Well, I think we're complex. So
Yeah,
that,
no, I agree.
sometimes,
I think being private in a certain setting and then not in others is totally understandable.
yeah, absolutely.
There's a difference between airing everything out on Facebook and then getting on a podcast
That's
talking about
ano-
what you're interested in.
Exactly too. I was just thinking like just the way people get upset and like their first instinct is to go to Facebook.
Yep. Overshare.
And like I would never tell anybody the right or wrong way to vent. Like do what works for you, but I just don't understand like being something happening, but I need to put this on Facebook. Like I just being so upset.
And what's so just I don't know the word to put it, but like what's so I guess embarrassing about it in today's era is every time you post, you just made a receipt people can look back out on. And
Exactly,
we've
it's
got
archived.
People, it gets archived, and then you create this pattern. Like say you have the people, a couple, they're in a relationship, posting pictures, love my boo, love my baby, and like missing my girl tonight. And then 2 nights later, you can tell they get in a fight because they're like, man, fuck bitches, I don't trust these hoes, man. Like you're all the same. And then 3 days later, pictures with them again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, like we know, like, and again, people fight. Here's the problem: people fight. You cannot show me one. If you show me a couple that doesn't fight, I'll show you a bunch of liars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So people fight, and that's fine. But you have people who fight, and their immediate response is like, "Let's go let all of my friends know about this." And,
I just don't understand it. And if I know for me, like Facebook, I don't take that seriously. Like, so there's a couple people I've only ever said hi to.
Yeah.
You know, like, or maybe just we work together or something. So there's a few people like that who I don't know all that well. So I'm like, I'm really not going to put certain things out there. And I would imagine it's like that for most people because I doubt most people know all. What do you have, like 1,000 and something people on your Facebook?
I used to have 5,000, but now I dipped down. I dipped down.
See, and people who have a large number like that, like I guarantee you don't know everybody.
Oh
on
no!
your Facebook.
So what happened for me was when I had the 5,000, it was because of music, and I accepted every friend request I got. Like I didn't care. Like as long as it wasn't obviously like a bot account. If it seemed like a legit account, I didn't care. I would add them. And then very much like you said, I would get like say post something, and I'd have those like some of those posts would get in like the high hundreds of likes.
Yeah.
And if I went and looked at it, like maybe 3% were people that I actually knew on a personal basis. It was just a bunch of random people that were like, oh, I'm gonna like this guy's post. And I used to be really guilty of airing like my like dirty laundry and oversharing on Facebook. But I was always really passive aggressive, so which I think is common. But I'd get mad at a friend or a situation, like even other rappers and music, and I would take to Facebook and just write these like fucking paragraphs.
I do remember seeing a few arguments you were in.
And I will say, because then they'd spark arguments, and then in my comments, I'm oversharing in there. I'm like telling personal stuff about like things that had gone on between me and the person I'm arguing with, and then I look back now. We have talked about this before, but the Facebook memories will pop up, and I'm just like,
oh gosh, man,
just disgusted.
Like I've said, it's a treasure trove of cringe.
Yes, it's just like cringeworthy. It's just
I'm
terrible.
not very well spoken today. I don't know what's wrong with me. That was a task getting that phrase out.
Treasure trove. That's a
treasure trove of cringe. Yeah. So that was rough getting out. But yeah, man, you often look through and it's just like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Why? Why did you tell people you were getting up to get a glass of water?
Yes,
like, who wanted to know that?
Ordering pizza tonight.
Yeah. In the mood for some pizza.
The one I sent you today. Literally.
The status update.
Literally 9 years ago to today, 9 years ago on Facebook, my post was status update. I don't know if I thought I was being...
That's actually funny.
Like, it is kind of funny.
It's
just status
funny.
update.
Yeah, just status
update. I don't think that's oversharing, but it's just I look back, I'm like, why? But
So
in my defense too, is I have always been a hilarious human being. So I do find
humble
some,
too.
yeah, very humble, very humble, very.
I guarantee you, I'm more humble than you.
I'm the most humble dude I know.
You can't never be as humble as
Bro,
I am.
I'm hard pressed if you could out humble me.
You don't. This level of humble, you'll never reach. So, but yeah, man, I do remember. Like, and sometimes the things that bug me the worst is like this sexual stuff. When people
Yeah.
overshare the sexual stuff on Facebook
Yeah,
and
I've
all
seen
that.
that.
Like what they like in the bedroom and all that. I'm like, why do you?
Or even the memes. They'll share the
Like, well,
memes that allude to
sometimes the
something.
memes are funny. Like, as long as it's done right, it can be
Yeah,
funny.
no, I
but
agree.
like, there was one girl who I'll tell you who she is, where she's on both of our friends list. But like, she'll just straight up post softcore porn, like butt naked women and stuff, like
Yeah.
bent over and stuff. And I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
what? And talk. Oh, me and my boyfriend could have her in our bedroom with us. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
And it's like, why do you want the world to know? Well, not the world, but however many people to know that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. My thing is in that context, a funny thing happened actually. We talked about on the cast with Cyrus, but I don't share that type of stuff. But I was telling you guys, remember the day when Cyrus was here?
Oh, yeah, you
and
commented
I
on
tagged
that post?
Felicia in a post that was like flirty.
Yeah.
Had no idea it notified all of my friends list, so I had people hitting me up being like, "Bro, like."
Oh yeah, people, if you're listening to this and you didn't know that,
Yeah,
if
beware.
You comment on anything, your whole friends list sees that. So
Yeah, did
be,
not
be
realize.
careful.
Yeah, yeah. I had a friend of mine who was like, "Hey man, I don't know if you're aware, but because I got
That's been a thing
I
for
have
a long
aunts
time,
and
bro.
uncles on my Facebook, my mother, but my mom's wild, but
Yeah, yeah. She just called us bitches.
yeah,
when
she literally called us and. I told her we were doing the podcast, and she says, "Is that all you bitches do?"
Oh my god, she's funny. But yeah, man, beware of that. That's been a thing for ages. Like you comment on something and
Yeah. Well, now I know.
like if you never noticed that.
No, bro,
ever?
I did not.
Yeah, that's how it
previously.
works.
Yeah.
But
Which now kind of sucks because I used to think when I'd comment on something, it was like my place to go. I think that we're all kind of victims of this in today's era, where you can't always like wear it on your sleeve because you're gonna get like we're so polarized at this moment that you're gonna get a lot of judgment from like either side.
Yeah.
So the place that I would go like kind of express like a sincere like emotion and like some thought and dialogue on a topic would be a comment section. And then I didn't realize this whole time. So and not even like me being ignorant or negative, but like just a situation where I wouldn't want people to particularly like that cause like more polarization or division or friends like that would like be hyper offended by like my stance on something. So I just go drop a comment in a post and turns out
oh yeah,
people
it's
can see it.
been that way for years,
Well,
bro. So yeah, it's
would have been
nothing
nice
new.
to know.
Yeah, it's
I
unfortunate.
will say the older I get now and just also just going through stuff that the more private I prefer to be.
I know. I think that me too, because I think with me oversharing when I was younger, it was being young and kind of having an ego and judgmental and stuff, and not knowing nothing about nothing.
Yeah.
But now I just, I'm not even saying that people shouldn't do these things, like you shouldn't. I'm just saying, when I see it, it's weird to me and off-putting, and I would never do it personally. But I can't tell a person how to express themselves or vent or whatever. But
Here's my opinion on that. So I share the same sentiment. If that's how you vent, if that's part of the therapeutic process for you, is to go like
just get it out there.
Put it out there. That's fine. But also on the other end of that is you have to accept that might not be the kind of person people want to get involved with.
Exactly.
I just recently cut ties with somebody who was doing that on Facebook.
Wow.
It's been a consistent pattern for years to where the positive, and then with this just super dark, bleak post where it's like F everybody, F all my friends, like I hate everybody, and all bitches are the same, and blah, blah,
I
blah.
can
And
never count on nobody.
Yeah,
And it's just
exactly.
somebody couldn't give them a ride to the store.
Yeah, something
Like,
simple. And then the people who've been there, like the people like myself who have hit them up on a personal level and be like, you good? Everything cool, man? What can I do to help? And like let them pour their heart out to me, and then 2 days later, like, fuck, nobody's ever had my back. I'm like, what are you talking about?
man.
So once that pattern repeats enough, I'm just like, wash my hands of it. Like, hey, like I wish you the best, like, but I just like don't hit me up when you have your next You know, like next time you apologize to everybody, don't put me on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man, because it's like somebody will put a thought like that out there. Oh, nobody ever does this or this, that, and third. And somebody will combat that, like, well, yes, they do. I just checked on you, you know,
Like
whatever.
2 days ago, yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you don't have to be a dick. It's like, man, you put these type of thoughts and this energy out there. Like, you put stuff on the internet.
Yeah,
People are liable to respond and say
100%.
something you don't want to hear.
Well, that's the other thing.
you know?
That's the other thing with oversharing is you have to accept what comes with it.
Exactly.
You overshare, and the person, like, say you're spazzing on, like, for my example, when I'd like call out other rappers really vaguely and like passive aggressively, of course they would comment, and then we get in arguments.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, what did I expect? Like, obviously, this person who
I'm just gonna
knows
say-
I'm talking about him is gonna be like, yeah, like,
Of course, they're going to chime in and absolutely, yeah, of course they are.
And I've also been guilty of that. I've had other people make statuses about me, and I've been like, yo, tag me next time. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna put it out there, like, you might as
Yeah.
well. Like, so
Let's do this.
Yeah,
Don't
but
be
it-
secretive.
yeah, you just gotta accept everything that comes with it. So yeah. Oversharing.
Oversharing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are still listening to this podcast, hop in the comment section and let us know if anybody's ever overshared with you.
Or times you've overshared with other people.
Real quick one. I want to say that a lady overshared with me. This used to happen to me all the time. I don't know why. Like older ladies, when I was like in my early 20s, mid 20s, older ladies just like had no problem hitting on me, like at all. Like just hit on me, like just whatever. Oh yeah, you like. You know,
in particular.
Yeah, I told one lady, go knit a sweater.
No,
But,
you did
I
not.
did. No, I
Okay.
didn't. But still, she did try to pick me up at the bar. I'm like, ma'am, I am someone's father. But no. So I was at the grocery store getting my groceries. I see this lady kind of eyeing me, like she's not like following me or nothing. But anytime we are in the same aisle, she's just like very much just staring at me.
Yeah,
And I'm
obvious.
like, whoa. What is this? And so we end up in the same checkout line. And she's just like, oh, I just got to say, you are a very handsome young man. And I'm like, somebody gives me a compliment. I'm not just giving it, I try to give one back if I can, because sometimes like, oh, thank you, you're nice. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Bye. But I was like, oh, thank you. And I know that she had a nice, because she smiled when she said it. I'm like, oh, she's got, well, thank you. You have a really nice smile. This lady said to me, oh, yeah, these are my dentures. I just got them like 2 weeks ago. I was like,
Because what do you say back to that?
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot something. Like, and so luckily I didn't put none of my stuff up yet, but I had to go. I went and acted like I was looking for something. I'm like,
And nothing's wrong with having dentures, but,
but just
one, to tell a stranger, and two, okay, now ball's in your court. What do you say to that?
Yeah, how do you want me to respond? Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. Just like
that's not really something.
And then not responding kind of makes you look like a dick.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, yeah, okay.
Thing? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. I was curious if they were your natural teeth. He was asking something, are those your natural teeth? Like, you can't do that, but yeah. Oh, and one more real quick before we move on to the next segment. I do remember I used to work at a local convenience store, and there was this girl who would come in all the time. She was friends with the manager. And she worked somewhere nearby anyway, so she'd come in before or after work and just hang out for a minute, which no problem. She was nice enough, kind of a habitual oversharer herself. Yeah. But she was sitting there, we were talking. I think she was like, I remember seeing her in school. I think she was like maybe a year older than me. But we're standing there talking, and she just popped her dentures out and set them in a cup. And like was eating something. I can't remember what, but I was just like, oh, for real?
Are we in the same age range as this person?
Yeah. No, she's like a year older than me. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I was 20 at the time. She was probably like 21 or so. But yeah, I was just like, wow. I mean, it's not like, she's not somebody I found attractive or nothing. So it's not like that like changed my perception. But I was just like, why would you be comfortable with And I just often think, like, what if it would have went differently? She just popped them out, saliva came
Oh
out.
yeah.
Ugh, gosh,
Well, at
bro.
least that wasn't the scenario.
I'm glad
Yeah,
it wasn't, but yeah, I just, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you just...
And again, not to sound anti-denture.
No, ain't
at all,
nothing.
but like,
Sometimes,
yeah, yeah.
sometimes people can't help it. Sometimes people
Absolutely.
genetically, like, they have bad teeth and they have to get genetics. It's crazy that she was so young with them, but we don't know what her,
Yeah,
her
what the
story
reason
was.
was. But yeah, but just like you said, just to kind of casual.
Yeah, but just like in a public place, a store, to just pop them out, just whatever. Like I knew she had. No, I didn't. Actually, I don't think I knew she had dentures before that. I can't remember. But yeah,
I have a similar story. I had I honestly think we need to have a discussion after the cast because it might be the same person.
okay, yeah, we'll have to talk about it.
But same scenario. Only mine was we were younger and lived in my neighborhood. Was one of the girls that I'd hang out with every now and again. Like we'd have night games, whatever during the summer, and just hanging out on the porch one night and same thing, just popped out in her teeth and stuff. And I was just at that young of age, my main thought I didn't even think oversharing, but my main thing was like.
Wait,
not understanding why
hold
somebody
up now.
that young would have dentures because you never know.
So does she have like the full set, or was it just like a few teeth?
So it was a few teeth.
Okay, because the girl I'm thinking of, it was all her teeth.
Okay, then
it was
not,
all
okay.
her. But if it's the same girl and this was a couple years later,
you don't know. Yeah.
Who knows? So yeah, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well and taking care of your denture. So yeah, let us know when people get in the comment sections, people, and let us know when individuals have overshared with you.
Yes.
I'm curious.
So next thing on the docket is random fact.
Random tandem fandom.
All right, so today my random fact is let me pull up the actual story on it, okay? So, come on, phone. But the random fact is, I don't know if you are aware of this, Mr. Jaquan Davis.
I know everything, bro.
Everything?
Ain't nothing
All
you
right.
can tell me that I don't.
Tell me the random fact right now. What is it?
I don't know which one you've chosen.
Oh, thought you knew everything.
But
that would be you would know that.
But
though.
as soon as you say what it is, it's already in my brain. I knew what it was.
Oh, okay. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a specific type of tick that can bite you and can lead to you being allergic to red meat.
Yeah. I knew that like when I was in like first grade.
No, you did not. Did you really?
No,
have you ever heard that before?
No, I did not know that.
So
Absolutely.
I'm going to read it to you. So, plenty of people have food allergies, but fewer are a result of an insect bite. In a strange and growing trend, some people who get bitten by the Lone Star tick can develop a sudden allergy to red meat, beef, lamb, and pork, which are all technically classified as red meat.
Oh gosh.
It can make people with this allergy experience headaches, sneezing, a runny nose, and nausea. In severe cases, it can be the cause of a person being unable to breathe. For some sufferers, the allergy fades over time, but others, it is permanent.
Wow.
A tick can make you allergic
You know,
to meat.
actually, a coworker of mine, I don't think he has an allergy with where if he has red meat, like he has trouble breathing, like his throat closes up.
You should.
But he didn't contract it that way.
Oh,
he got
okay.
it from like some I think he said undercooked fish or something.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe that same tick.
Yeah, who knows?
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
who
strange.
knows how?
What a strange way for the body to react.
It is very much so, man. Like I don't.
Because it's an astonishing thing. Like, what is the correlation between this specific tick bite and then your body being like, you know what, no more.
Yeah,
red meat.
like there's
Sorry.
something that tick. There's
Gotta
something
have
in
some
that
kind of
tick.
maybe enzyme or something.
Yeah, I
or
would
some
imagine
chemical
so. See, I'm not real big in. I don't know much about science. I'm a little dumb.
We know.
But you're a jerk.
I'm sorry.
This is the guy I chose to do a podcast with.
Not the first choice.
You wasn't the first choice.
Yeah.
Second place.
Yeah, hand me down podcast.
I honestly do think you were the better choice, though.
Well, thank you.
Even though you're an asshole to me. But no, that is weird, man. Like just a tick just essentially alters your life because you develop an allergy. I'm just now like what's it been? Probably about 3 years. I've just now started to develop allergies myself.
Weird, me too. I used to, as a kid, not bad, but
never
now
had any issues.
Yeah, now I get them pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's just but I will say that Claritin does the trick for me. So
Mine's, what is it? the one that's in the Zyrtec. Yeah, Zyrtec's the one.
Yeah,
That does it for me.
good
Yeah.
stuff. So it's just weird, man, having this all of a sudden and never having had to deal with it your whole life. But the tick thing, that sounds like way more possibly deadly. Like,
Yeah.
if you just
Well,
because if somebody cooks something on the same grill and
Yeah.
some of that juice from the red meat gets into whatever
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
having.
Cross contamination,
Yeah.
even at restaurants like
Yeah.
that would really suck. And also, for anybody who is a lifelong like eats burgers and steaks and stuff, that's a drastic change.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
and again, coming from somebody who's vegetarian,
And an involuntary one.
yeah,
too.
exactly, because I'm a voluntary vegetarian, and it was difficult at first, mainly because we're so used to meat being the primary source of our diet.
Right.
That for me, I was just completely lost at what do I eat now. Like I cut meat out. What do I eat? And now, like years later, it'll be 3 years this year. Obviously, I have a surplus of things to eat, and
Yeah.
I eat more a variety of things now than I did back then.
Yeah, you have. Like that time you made me grass
man.
and soil tacos.
I'm
Grass and soil.
Here's what really sucks, guys. So I cooked a full. I think that one was actually full vegan, maybe.
Was it?
Maybe, but tacos for Jay, and I had been talking up this food for the longest time. I'm like, and being like, bro, I'm a pretty good cook. You should try it. And they're these bag meals that I get.
It smelled really good, I will
it's
say.
these bag meals that I get, and it comes with a little sheet and the recipe and all the things you need. So I've been cooking those. And it was the one I talked Jay into trying, and even I didn't like it, which sucks because he was like, "Yeah, this just tastes like I'm eating dirt and leaves," and I was like, "This is the worst one to try."
It
like,
had
no.
a very earthy taste.
It was super earthy.
It had
It was
kale, and the kale was overpowering everything.
Yeah, the kale.
I didn't mind the black beans, but the kale
just,
just. I didn't realize kale had such a strong
you gotta,
taste.
at some point in the future, give me one more shot.
I will. If it smells good like that stuff did, I'll at least give it a shot. But it's crazy, man, because I was always that guy. Like I could never cut out meat, but it's like the older I get, the more I actually consider it.
Yeah.
Maybe even just trying it briefly and seeing if it's the life that I want. But
I
don't think I could do full vegan though.
I don't either.
I could probably.
That was my goal originally. Is full vegan. Full vegan is just they are a little too drastic.
Yeah.
And I could go what I consider. There's a plant-based diet which is it basically is vegan because a plant-based diet is nothing that came from an animal. Period. It's just all plant. It's all grown from the earth. The vegan goes too far for me, and I don't care because one time I had some vegans roast me in a post for saying I was vegetarian. Bro, they started adding me to talk shit to me.
Wow.
I joined a post and all I said was like, "Hey, vegetarian, been going on for 2 years now. This is pretty recently. Vegetarian going on 2 years now, looking to go full vegan in the future. If you guys have any recipes, blah, blah, blah." And I got flamed. Hundreds of comments because people are like, "This is a vegan group, not a vegetarian group."
They're gatekeeping
oh my
veganism.
God. And they were like...
So you're trying to, kind of baby step your way.
Yes, basically.
And they're like, "No."
And they were like, "Oh, you still eat dairy? Like, I hope all the blood of those baby cows feels good on in your hands." And I was like, "Yo, I came here asking for advice." And so I had the majority of them just flaming me. And like I said, I was getting ads from people and like those message requests of people just talking shit.
Yeah.
But a few people added me and was like, because they kicked me from the group. The admin booted me from the group. Because then I was commenting back and then it said like, "This is no longer available." They booted me from the group. And then I had a few people add me that were like, "Hey, dude, like, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, that group is actually notoriously known for being like really uptight and ignorant and
ridiculous."
Yeah,
man.
but anyway, so on the vegan side, they are so strict that when I started reading articles, it was like almonds aren't vegan and honey's not
you
vegan.
told me that. Yeah, why is
and
that?
And avocados, because bees pollinate the plant that like produces them, which in return. Bee farmers are technically exploiting bees. I threw out some air quotes there. They're exploiting bees because they like keep bees in captivity, and then like the bees pollinate and stuff, and it's just the cycle. So to vegans, it's like, oh, that's like animal abuse to bees, which maybe in some contexts, I don't know how drastic it is. I don't know how much a bee gives a fuck about being
they're doing it anyway.
Yeah, like that's literally they're doing what they were born to do. They're like pollinating and making honey, but
I love honey.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong. Bees don't even do they eat the honey? Even do you know?
I don't know what they do.
And if they do, there's no way that they eat all of it.
No.
You know, like
no way in hell.
Yeah,
But
no,
what about avocados though? Like, what does that have to?
Same concept.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's basically the same concept. There's exploitation of animals involved and
Jeez,
and
man.
all that stuff. And it's just it's a far line. And mind you, I'm pretty hardcore with like activism for like animal abuse and thinking I'm very against slaughterhouses and things like that.
Yeah.
That I'm the guy that legitimately used to like squash spiders on site. I'm the guy now. I'll legit get a cup and a piece of paper and I'll free a spider. Like I go that far sometimes. You just made a weird look, but I will only in the context of I saw this meme back in the day where it was something about a guy talking about it, and he was like imagine being like in a setting that you didn't choose to be, like a spider has no idea what's going on, and just somebody, because you're considered a pest to them, comes and like snuffs your life out. He goes, so I let spiders out and I hope one day if there's a higher power they do the same for me, or something like unique of that. And along those lines that I was like, that's a good sentiment, because me squashing this spider, like all it's doing is legit just like there's no harm, and just being like, hey, get outside, buddy. But it was funny because we were talking about that the other day, and somebody brought up sand puppies. I don't know if anybody noticed. You know what a sand puppy
Gross.
is,
They're
but like
disgusting.
I told Felicia, dead on site. Like dead on site. I don't care how humanitarian I am. Dead on site. Like that is Satan spawn.
Yeah,
sand
I don't
puppies
care.
I will torch you with a flamethrower.
Spiders, I feel like they don't bother me. Depending on the size, some of them are treacherous.
Same.
But
there's some.
You know what irritates the hell out of me, bro?
What?
Two things: gnats and moths. So every summer I get moth bars and I hang them throughout my house, and they help pretty good. They smell good too, but they help keep the moths away. They're so dumb too. Like,
really, moth?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with moths.
Really? They just irritate me, man.
And mothballs stink too. That's another thing.
Really?
Yeah, mothballs smell bad. Man.
Well, I don't know what the mothballs smell like.
Oh, you have like the strips or something?
The ones I get are bars. Like,
okay, maybe they're. I was buying the mothballs and I put in my corners of my closet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they'll like eat holes in your clothes.
These really?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why they say you can put them in your closet and stuff.
But these are like they're like lavender scented. It's a big bar, probably about 6 inches long, and you just hang it up wherever, and it just kind of wears down over time. But yeah, it keeps them away.
Yeah, so moths don't bother as much. Gnats are annoying, I'll admit.
Very. And they're slow. Yeah. They're like tiny and slow, bro. Like.
So there is one specific insect that has like put me on the like teetering brink of sanity before, that I also will kill on site.
What's that?
Flies.
Okay, yeah, they irritate me to no
end. Flies.
End.
They're disgusting, and here's my thing with flies, bro. So, as a recording artist, I have my studio in my basement.
Yeah.
My microphone for recording, because even the podcast mic, like these pick up great.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to what that other mic does. My other mic is like super elite. And that thing picks up like Felicia's like stomach growling upstairs type, like it, like elite, like if I turn it up like the freak, yeah. So anyway,
pretty advanced.
Well, I'll put my headphones on, and during the summer, because my kids, what they do is they'll play in the backyard. I have my like back door and stuff. Yeah. They'll open it and leave it open during the summer and be running back inside, getting like water and whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Flies will get inside sometimes. I'll go to record. It'll be like 10 o'clock at night, and I'll have my headphones on, and with those headphones on and that mic, loud as shit.
Wow.
And to the point where before middle of a recording session, like a madman, stop recording, and I'm like scouring the house, like, where's this goddamn fly at?
Gosh,
and when I find it, I've literally had the thought that I'm like, if I had the Ant-Man technology, I would shrink down and fist fight this fucking
beat
fly,
the
bro.
dog shit out of it. Flies are trash, man. They're assholes, and their lives are short, and they're irritating.
Yeah, I hate flies. So
the only bugs that get a pass from me, ladybugs and butterflies. Those two are all right by me.
You are super gay tonight, aren't you?
Super gay. Why is that gay? Ladybugs don't cause nobody no harm, and they're nice to look at.
Okay, fair. Those are the only two out of everything, though.
Yeah, the rest of them irritate me to no end.
I actually really love insects. I think moths are not. It's weird because there's two type of moths. You have the common moth. Have you ever seen the ones that are like have like the fur on their like?
Ew, no.
Oh, bro, they're beautiful.
That sounds disgusting.
No, they're actually gorgeous. They're these really cool moths.
They got fur on them.
Yeah, dead ass, bro. I will find one. So a picture one.
Okay, I'm curious, but that is.
Yeah, I forget what they're called, but they're a really cool moth. But
No, I would say also grasshoppers and crickets don't bother me that
I
much
like
either.
grasshoppers just because it reminds me of summer nights.
Yeah, I
Truly,
think that's
like
probably
being
my thing
outside. It
too.
reminds me of going to my sister's because they get big old grasshoppers up
Uh-huh.
there. You want to talk about scary insects because we're on a tangent now.
Yeah.
Scary insects up in Texas. My mom and sister live by Corpus Christi. It's right on the Gulf. Live in a little town that like everybody knows everybody situation. And we go stay at my sister's house. Beautiful property. I got a lot of good memories there. It's just a good time. Like it's cool. Her backyard is beautiful. The settings and stuff. But the bugs, bro, wild. I'm talking spiders. Okay, you guys can't see, bro, but like Jay, oh God, I can't, bro, fucking huge.
Huge,
It's like
yeah.
I'm talking, and not just one or two, like just you'll find them everywhere you look, and just big. And then the grasshoppers, same thing. Like the grasshoppers that are like
They're
this,
huge.
like they're like yeah, it's crazy. I think it's
about
funny
like
because I'm showing you how big they are.
So basically, he's saying they're like 4 inches long. Or something,
Yeah, they're huge. But cool side of that, just random frogs. My mom sent me a picture the other day. She said my little buddy who visits me at night, and it was her on her little patio, and a toad was sitting right by her foot. And she said that he lives in that area, and he'll just come hop up by her and chill. And I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually. The little toad that just comes.
It's a toad. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
We chilling outside tonight.
we just hanging out. You see them flies out here?
Real quick, before we conclude this random fact segment, which it initially was, and we went off on a tangent.
We're still talking about bugs, ticks,
Bugs. I remember. So like growing up for a lot of my childhood, me and my mom lived in an apartment on the 12th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one day a grasshopper got up on our window, man.
That's impressive.
Yeah, like I just remember seeing it and being so confused, like, cause looking outside, it had to come a long way.
Yeah,
12
bro.
stories.
That
bro.
could be a
Like,
movie.
Yeah,
That
so
grasshopper deserves a Pixar.
it
pick
was
that one up.
It was on our window.
That's
man.
wild.
It's so crazy. But,
That makes you curious how that
yeah, what exactly that process
like
was
what
like.
transpired to make a
Yeah,
grasshopper
it's
like
like,
get,
let me go higher.
maybe a bird tried to eat it and it like fought valiantly for its life and
Could
escaped.
be. I never thought about that. It
never
could
know.
be that. Who knows, man? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was a thing. It was an escape type thing, or who knows? Or how often does something like that happen? You know, because that's really high up.
I think for me now, I think about with like insects, the ones that I will like usually like give a pass on are ones that are harmless because now that I start thinking about it, how we brought up ticks early and things like that, there are insects that I would consider like harmful to like me and people I care about.
Yeah.
And those are ones like that I obviously.
How do you feel about scorpions?
Yeah, like that's one that I feel.
I think they look cool, but they're terrifying.
No, they're horrifying. To me, more scary than a spider.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's more scary than a spider. My dad used to have outside of his old house that he lived in, this big giant, bro. I'm talking like, if I explained it to you, you'd probably think I was over exaggerating, but it was this huge web.
You often do.
That I'm always super honest. Okay,
You
I'm
lie
the most honest person.
for no
on earth.
reason.
Honest.
Is your name even Sexton Hardcastle?
Yes, I'll show you my birth certificate. What if I just super shitty? Just like edited, just Photoshop. Didn't even erase my original name. Just like wrote.
Cross it out with Sexton Hardcastle.
I told you no, but it was this giant spider web, and it was a cat spider. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
I'm not sure that I have.
Yeah, so they're really, really pretty and unique looking, but they, the positive side of them is they eat other spiders and insects that can be considered pests.
Okay.
So, as a kid, when I was scared of spiders, I remember being like, Dad, like, oh my God, like that huge spider up there, like, you need to kill it. And he was like, why would I do that? And he was one of those ones, because my dad's a deep dude, and he was like, that's a beautiful, like, creature, like, and it, like, stops other dangerous things from getting in this house. And I was like, okay. Dad.
Okay. Spiders, you ever seen one of them, their faces up close? Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You don't have to put too much thought into it. Like, it's scary. Yeah, it's scary as shit.
Like they got so many eyes, and it, I don't know what it is. Things
To
with
me,
a lot
it's
of
the 8 legs too, and how they move. If you watch a spider move,
It is
like
pretty
it's
creepy.
very. Yeah, that's what's creepy is they move differently.
Something about them having several eyes just don't sit right with me.
Mine's the 8 legs and the way they move.
Okay, so let's finish our final segment because
this-
we obviously had to cut one out
Yes.
because
Yeah,
we went off on a tangent.
Okay, yeah, we did. So our final segment, it shouldn't be as long, but you know what I hate, bro?
What?
When I go order a fruity drink at the bar and then get clowned on.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, and dude, a real man would
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a whiskey straight with no ice, a neat whiskey straight. It's like, bro, I like my drinks to taste
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Why does that make me less of a man? Like
The-
I like mixed drinks. I like Smirnoffs and Reds. And
I'll
my
have-
boss was we were talking about this one day, and he was clowning about being at a bar and seeing some kid some young like 21, 22-year-old kid order a round of Reds for him and his buddies. I'm like, what's wrong with that? And like he like didn't really have much of an answer.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is
Just
it
the
bad?
stigma, like,
Why is it bad to
This
drink
guy
that
ordered
stuff?
a drink he thought tasted good.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want something that's harsh going down and doesn't taste good?
Yeah, one for me is we'll have group settings, and my friends will bring drinks, and somebody will be like, "Oh, did we get the bitch beers for Nick?" And I'm like, because I like Smirnoff,
Yeah.
and I also like they have like the Reds is good, and
Yeah.
they have this new Reds peach that's really good.
Oh yeah, I tried one of
Yeah,
those. Yeah.
yeah, those are good. And I've always had the same thing that I'm like, bro, they do the same thing. Mine tastes better than yours, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Yeah.
Like the alcohol content is real close. Like it's like
You know what's crazy? I was with one of my homeboys, and so one of my homeboys introduced me to mixing Malibu rum and Coke, which obviously Malibu itself tastes just fine, but mixing it with Coke, it is delicious, man. So one of my homeboys introduced me to it. We drank them that night. I got messed up. A while goes by, I'm with another one of my friends, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get us drink. I'm gonna get us drink." No, we're standing at the bar actually, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let me get this." And he's like, "What you want?" Tell the bartender what you want. I'm like, "Yeah, Malibu rum and Coke." He's like, "Yeah, give me Grey Goose and Red Bull and whatever bullshit or no whatever bitch shit Jay wants too." I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, what?
yeah.
It's like, damn, man. Like, what?
I get the one I get is Hypnotic and 7-Up. Have you ever
Yeah.
had Hypno and 7?
No, I have not.
It's
I
really
think
good.
that might be
it's
good.
delicious. And a Hypnotic already isn't it's super potent.
It's
compared to other
potent,
stuff.
but it's got a sweet taste.
Yeah, it's got
to
a
it.
sweet. And then with the 7-Up, it's just this good balance. And I'll get a double of it, like a
Yeah.
Hypno and 7. And I'll finish it, give me a good little buzz feeling, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
I might
and then
need
I
to
have
check
people
that
who
out.
are getting like double Crown and Cokes and being like, "Oh, pussy." And I'm like, bro, like our mission might be different. Like I'm not trying to be like
Exactly.
stumbling across the bar within the next hour or
That's
two.
a thing too, man. I think that's why the good tasting drinks are a little dangerous if you don't know your limits. They can
Yeah,
be dangerous
because
because it's
they-
like, oh, this tastes so good. I don't even taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
Give me two more, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Like it does depend on what kind of night you're having. You might want to get sloshed some nights, and then other nights you might just
and
want to
the nights,
buzz.
the nights I just want to buzz. What I'll do is so I go to the bar with two mentalities, depending on like what my day tomorrow is going to look like,
Yeah.
and what I'm trying to get into that night, and
Sure,
just what
yeah.
I'm trying to do. So if I'm just having a leisurely night, I plan on driving home soon.
Yeah.
I'm just playing a couple games of pool. I work in the morning. I will have my Hypno and 7 and like maybe like one or two at the most, and just have a chill night.
Yeah.
But if I go there and it's like we're having fun and the plan is like, hey, like we like
getting
somebody
drunk
else drove
tonight.
or we're taking an Uber, I like to get the job done quick. Not quick, but because I'm very aware of my like.
Let's go
my-
get drunk this coming weekend, bro.
We should.
I'm down.
But what I'll do is I'll take shots instead. I won't even do mixed drinks. I'll just like space myself enough or pace myself, and I'll go get like 2 shots back to back. And like that alone, I'm a lightweight. Y'all.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not even
same,
exaggerating.
same.
I'm a lightweight. 2 shots will get me feeling tingly already.
Bro,
Of some pretty stiff, something stiff, like some Jack.
I
or
could have a
something.
couple beers, bro, and a couple shots, and that's all I need
Yeah.
for the night. Like I don't
Yeah,
drink
same.
like that.
So I'll take my 2 shots and not even be buzzed yet, but like getting that feeling.
Yeah.
I'll wait a little while, go have another one, and then by then I'm starting to really feel it. And then for the rest of the night, if it's an all night thing, I just pace myself, and every half an hour to an hour, I'll
Yeah.
go get a shot, or somebody will offer one, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll take one, and then I stay good. And I also know my limits because
Yeah,
have you ever been at the
same.
bar where you're right where you're at, and somebody will bring you a drink, and you're like, no, and they're offended?
Yes,
Yes,
many
I hate
times.
that, bro. I hate
Yeah,
it.
many
Where
times.
They're, like, bro, I got you a
Well,
shot.
come
and it's
on,
like, yo,
stop
like,
being a bitch. Take the shot.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Bro, I will
man.
happily tell you.
I'm
fuck
good.
off,
I don't want to. I like being alert, knowing what's going on.
I know. Yeah, I'm right where I want to be. Like,
Exactly.
I'm good.
Like
yeah.
what I do now. Well, I ain't been in the bar in forever,
Me
but
either.
I
I haven't
usually.
been drunk in forever, bro.
I haven't been drunk since early 2020.
Me weird. I was gonna say it's been
crazy.
over a year for me. Like,
Yeah,
that I've
man.
been drunk. Yeah.
It's crazy. I got a little chill. But Yeah, man, I don't understand it. Like that whole thing. It's like if I know I'm done and I don't want to get any more
Yeah.
shit faced, like if I'm good, So what I started doing is I'll start drinking water like in between
Same here,
drinks
yeah,
just to
yep,
kind of,
same here.
balance everything.
If I start feeling that like too much, one time I had a drunk hit me real fast. This is probably the most recent time I gotten drunk, and this is like about a year ago. But I was at so locally we have a bar called the Park Hotel.
Yeah.
It's within walking distance of multiple bars.
Yes.
So you can do kind of like a bar crawl, basically. I
Right.
guess. And what had happened was
What had happened was
I was at the park, took a couple shots, got my buzz going, and again, I'm not going to exaggerate, guys. I am a lightweight, light as light is.
yeah, when you don't drink like that,
yeah.
you don't have no
You're talking
tolerance.
about a guy who gets drunk maybe once a year, and like buzzed maybe twice a year, like just very rarely. So on the few times I do, it does not take much, which is why I'm very firm with people when I'm like, yo, I know my limit. Like when they're like, you've only had 3 drinks, like I'm like, yo, I know, I'm fully aware of how many drinks I've had. But I had like maybe 3 shots. I've been at the bar for a little over an hour. Started kind of feeling my buzz a little bit, and we were getting ready to leave to go to another bar. And like an idiot, we had some people who this other bar was relatively close, and they were getting in their car. And I had a friend, and I'm an idiot, who was like, "I bet we'll beat you there on foot." And they're like, "Bet." And they started to run to their car. So my friend started running, and I just, like an idiot, because I was with him, took off behind him. And the thing is, he had bet this girl that if he got there first, she owed him a drink, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
So we take off, and I'm like booking it. Now I'm realizing that this bar is not nearly as close. It was the Park Hotel in Bareback.
Oh no, that's some distance,
yeah,
bro.
that's
Like,
yeah.
So I mean, it's walkable, obviously,
exactly.
but that's a little ways.
So I'm sprinting. And as I'm running, it dawns on me 2 things. One, that I'm like, this is a lot longer run than I thought. And also, why the fuck am I running? I've made
you have no
deals with
stake.
yeah, exactly. I'm not getting a free drink. I'm not buying nobody a free drink. Like, what am I doing? And then so I finished. I ran there anyway. I just finished, got there, and like heart pumping, like blood flowing, and bro, drunk because I like kick started my drunk.
Oh, it kicked in when that makes sense. Your blood pumping.
Yeah, I
makes
kick
sense.
started my drunk, and I went inside, and I was inside, and I was like just hot as shit. I was just like inside, like sweating, and I kept being to people. I'm like, yo, it's hot in here, and they're like, not really, and I'm like, it's fucking hot in here. Yeah,
so you just ran almost.
But then that alluded to the next thing, to where people kept wanting to buy me drinks, and I was like, no, I'm good, and they were like you haven't had anything, and I'm like, yo, I'm good, just like let me be good.
That's when you be like, yeah, just let me get a beer, and you just sip on it.
Yeah.
You know what's
I've
weird?
done that before too. I've done that, or taken the shot, gotten just annoyed so much that I'm like, sure, and literally like set it somewhere. Like said, like been like, yo, like if you want to waste money, go ahead. I guess.
I've had one of them times. This might sound weird, but there's been times where I knew I was pretty hammered. So my drink of choice, usually, like we said, I like stuff that tastes good. My drink of choice is usually a Long Island iced tea. Now, Long Island iced tea has 5 different alcohols in it, so it's pretty strong.
they're stiff, bro.
It's gonna get you, So I would drink that, and maybe like a shot or a beer or something, and that usually gets good for me. But if I get to the point, how sometimes if you get drunk, you might get a little nauseous or whatever.
Yep, same.
So I do that, but I drink Heineken, which is my beer of choice. I drink one of those, and it would settle my stomach, and I'd be good to go. I just sip on it, and it
when I start getting that, I feel like I'm nauseous feeling.
Yeah.
But alcohol has stopped for me. I start chugging water. I'll start drinking a lot of water just because I feel like it processes. And if I'm somewhere that I can access it, something to get on my stomach.
Yeah.
So if there's something around that I like a bag of chips even, or the bar has pretzels or something. But
yeah, I mean, in that scenario, I'm not I wouldn't be hammered. I'd still be very much alert, but I just kind of get that nauseating feeling. Usually, I mean, water helps too, of course. That's probably the best way to go. But if I know I'm not done drinking, I'll just sip on the beer, maybe step outside.
The last time I got drunk, this is years ago. I'm talking maybe 5 years ago that I got drunk enough to puke. I was with a buddy who loves Jameson whiskey.
Yeah.
Is it whiskey?
Yeah, it's whiskey.
I think it's Irish whiskey. Yeah, Jameson whiskey. And he just touts it very highly. So he brought some over, and we had a DD, so we were getting ready to go out to the bars and stuff, and we were pre-gaming at my house. So he brought.
Shout out to DDs, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
I've
real
been
talk,
I've been in a bar sober where everybody else was drunk, and drunk people are annoying as hell.
Oh hell yeah, bro!
Gosh.
I'm King DD, bro.
Yeah.
Like
I've been kudos to you, bro, because I couldn't.
Well, you know personally, I don't party like that. I never really have.
Yeah.
Generally, I'd say 90%, 95% of the time that I'm going out to the bar with a group of people, I'm the designated driver. And like you said, you have people who get buzzed, that's fine, but the people who get sloshed, annoying, bro.
Yes.
God, like
I know a lot of people who just like I just remember this one girl like would get so drunk every week and it was mean and like clumsy.
Or the people who would drunk every weekend and cry, they'd cry. Yeah. And you're like, yo, like this can't be fun.
Yeah, like you do this every time.
Yeah, literally, like, yo, you're always crying at the end of the night. Like, why are you doing this? Yeah. But for me, he brought over Jameson and ginger ale was the chaser. And it just paired beautifully. Yeah. So I just kept drinking. I would just take, it was like you said, it tasted good enough that I underestimated Jameson. Like legitimately, I just underestimated it. And I got like way too drunk. We were actually at the club, embarrassed myself bad. We were at the club and I was sitting there. Don't like this feeling because I gamed at home, got more drunk than I thought, and then had like a shot at the bar. Only one, but had that one shot at the bar that just pushed me over the limit. And I was sitting there at the bar. And I was on a bar stool, and I was like woozy drunk, like And I went to stand up, and I pushed my hand off the other bar stool next to me to stand up, and I knocked it over, which tipped and hit a table and knocked drinks over. And everybody was like, I was that guy.
Oh, that's
and I was so embarrassed. And my thing about when I've ever been like highly intoxicated, I always still keep my wits about me.
Same.
So I'll be messed up and like inner monologue of like, bro, you're drunk, you're good, you're just drunk, like. Pace yourself, like take some breaths. But that night I went home and puked my soul up. Like it was just because I got so much more. And then the other time I got, because anytime I've been drunk has been on accident. There's 2 times. That's one of them. The other time is game night at my house, social setting. Another coworker that I worked with at my old company before I started my own business. She had come over and it was me and my wife and like her guy and a couple other friends. And we started having some drinks, and we ran out of the Smirnoffs that I drink, which is very similar. Like 2 to 3 Smirnoffs, I'm right where I'm at for the night. And so I had finished like my second Smirnoff, which put me like at a pretty good buzz, but I wanted another one to sip on. Went upstairs, they were gone. All I saw in the fridge was the boxed wine. You know, you press the little tab. You ever seen those?
Gosh, yeah,
press the tab, and like you'd fill up your wine glass. Well, I saw that, and I was like, oh shit! And my dumbass associated a wine cooler with just regular ass wine, filled up a wine glass and drank it, and was drunk as shit. So I'm drunk, and actually, if I remember the story, maybe it wasn't a box wine, but it was a bottle of wine or a box wine or something. But I'm drunk as shit, so I come back down, I'm drinking it, and finally Felicia's like, hey, like, do you drink all that wine? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, do you realize what you just did?
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, it's like a wine cooler. And she's like, no, like, way more potent. And sure enough, I found out. And
gosh, man,
that's one of those obvious things that
but
we'll talk about that in a future segment.
That's
so
get in the comments section and let us know what you think. Do you think taste or liking drinks that taste good makes a man less masculine? Because I don't. But if you disagree, let us know how you feel.
And I'm gonna just to finish quickly, I'm gonna say toxic masculinity or the parallel to that of the people who are what would you call it, like the people who are like, you're not a man unless you like, you know, like if you can't fix a car engine, you're not a man, you know.
Gosh, whatever. You don't have a toolbox at your house, you're not a real
So people with that mentality, and then men who like carry that same mentality, like that are like, oh, like if you like, you know, like if I like when I go hunting, I wear like no shoes and I hike up a hill with rocks on.
Why do you want to be comfortable and warm?
Yeah, exactly.
Cold?
Like why are you wearing a hoodie? What are you, gay? Or
why are you being safe? What are you?
Yeah. So that type of mentality. I was watching a video today on Facebook, and it was a video of this guy who works at a convenience store recording reactions of him calling guys cute pet names. So he like, had his phone in his pocket, and they'd walk up and he'd go, "Thanks, baby doll," and these dudes were tripping.
Like, ready to beat
oh
his
yeah,
ass?
and I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
you
of
have to
course.
be a certain type of insecure for another random person to be like, "Thanks, girl," like "Thanks, baby girl," or like,
feel
"Hey,
like
like sweetie pie." He'd call him like sweetie pie, and the man would like, "Fuck you, bro!" Like, what the fuck wrong with you?
I
Like,
feel like my first instinct would be to laugh and be like, "Are you?"
Oh,
fucking
me
serious?"
too.
Like,
That,
I wouldn't
and some
be
of them
upset.
did. Some of
but-
them would laugh and stuff, but there were dudes that were like "fuck you" and like weird ass shit, and I'm like, bro, that's a level of insecurity that a simple thing is somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're ready to like potentially go to jail. Like imagine sitting in your jail cell and be like, what happened? And be like, a guy called me like baby doll.
Yeah,
It's
like
too
it's
much,
as
man.
long as he ain't doing nothing physical, like
Yeah, exactly.
grabbing you or trying to kiss you or
Exactly.
something, there ain't nothing to be upset about, bro. I would probably honestly just laugh it off, like what the fuck, you know. But it wouldn't bother me
So.
to lose my cool. So.
All right, well, that is a wrap on this episode.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. We do seem to have a fairly consistent base of listeners, and things are about to change with the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
We definitely have a bunch of ideas that are gonna come to fruition soon, and so just be on the lookout and stick with us because this thing is about to. I'll say do a 180.
Yeah, I think.
say
Well, I
do
just say just another big step forward.
Yeah.
Just a step forward. We're gonna take a big step forward.
Big step forward. Yeah, I'm talking about 180. That sounds very drastic. It's not that drastic.
Yeah, people
but-
are like, what are you gonna do?
What
This
are you-
podcast
what
is
are you-
officially anti-hip hop.
Yeah.
This is a country-centric podcast.
that would be insane. But yeah, so we definitely got some changes. We're just trying to grow this thing and keep the ball rolling. So yeah.
All right. So once again, you've been tuned into another episode of the Yeehaw Boys. I'm Cowboy Joe.
Cowboy Joe, and I'm Cletus.
And I'm Cletus. I'm Clancy McCletuson. But on a real note, you have been tuned into another episode of the Young Old Heads podcast. This is a hip hop, semi-hip hop centric podcast where we talk a little bit about everything, a lot about nothing. Big shout out again. Interaction is super important, guys. So hop in those comments. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
If you have stories to tell, if you want a shout out on the cast, jump in there. If you
if you throw some emojis in the comment section, that helps us with engagement. So it'll help us grow.
Yeah, help us grow. And also, I want involvement from our listening base. So give us ideas, topics,
Absolutely.
things something you're intrigued by.
Yeah, or something you just want to hear our thoughts on. Or,
And by now, if you've been listening long enough, like you've probably got to understand like the dynamic of Jay and I's relationship. So if you have something that you think would be like interesting to hear us debate and talk about, like let us know. So.
Absolutely.
So
engage with us.
Well, have a good night or day or whatever time you're listening to this.
Yeah. Well, wait, what's your name again? What is your name?
I was Cowboy Joe.
Cowboy Joe
and you were Cletus.
Cowboy Joe and Cletus signing off.
Yeah, next episode. Well, y'all have a good night. You hear? Yeah.
Oh my God, no, absolutely not.
All right, bye.
Love you.